be a music hall with symphonies going all day long, that's what you'll have. So it is basically what you love, what you desire, and you can make it whatever you want. I've heard that there are movies, concerts, libraries, universities, anything you want. If you want to go to school to learn to be a doctor, you can do that. You can learn music. You hang out with your besties, and your family. It's a beautiful place that pales in comparison to where we are. That's what I've heard over and over and over again.
Do we make our own hell?
I do believe that's the very truth, and that we can make our life here a hell if we choose it. I don't believe that there is an actual hell that we go to. I think there's a place that's sort of like a limbo where you go for healing. If you're in need of that kind of mental healing, if you're a criminal that, needs to be reformed, there's a place for you. But I don't believe that burning in hell. You go somewhere where there are people there to help you.
It's like a holding tank, huh?
Yes. Right. And if they ask for help, then they will be helped. They can't be forced on people. So if they want to, stay in that limbo or that tank and suffer and go through over and over what they did to people and feel and, have to experience those things over and over, I think eventually they're going to choose to grow and get out of there.
As a psychic, do you predict things?
I do. I do that sometimes, yes.
See anything on the horizon that we really need to know about?
Ooh, well, I'm very worried about the earthquake in California coming this year.
That's funny you say that, because I have an earthquake expert, not a psychic, but an expert, who thinks a big one's coming too.
Oh, see, I keep feeling it. And November keeps coming up. It could be sooner. And I know we just had a great big one in Alaska,
yep.
Which I thought, here it comes. But it's going to be slowly, like October, November. Yeah, so just be prepared, all those people out there out in California. Be careful.
How about COVID? Does it go away?
Well, all right.
Oh, boy.
I hate to be negative, but
we just want to lay it out there for us.
All right. I had predicted that there would be something coming that would affect many people. I saw people running with masks on. I didn't realize what exactly it was. I did not know it was a pandemic, but I did see it over and over and over. And I know it's going to last like another year, but it will just dissipate slowly from now on. So we're going to have an uptick, yes, into the fall and into like January. And then I see by April we should be past it.
No more variants, I hope? Or does it keep changing?
I think there'll still be another variant, but not as virulent. So there's hope on the horizon, let's put it that way.
My daughter had a precognitive dream about 9/11, but did not know what it was, nor did I. She called me up about a week before 9/11 in 2001 and said, Dad, I just had the strangest dream. And I've talked about this before, Jennifer, and I said, well, Wendy, what was it? She said, I'm walking in this big city. I don't know where it is. There's skyscrapers everywhere. And we're in St. Louis, Detroit, so she thought maybe Chicago, maybe New York. But she said, I'm walking on the streets of this big skyscraper city, and dust and ash is falling on me to the point where it's like I'm a foot deep in this stuff.
Wow.
And it's coming down like a huge snowstorm, but it's not snow. It's dust from something. I don't know what it was. And sure enough, when we saw what happened on 9/11 and all that stuff was falling to the ground and people were breathing it in and everything else, I called her back up and I said, Wendy, this is your dream. And she said, I know. But we didn't know what it was then. How come we can't figure that out?
That's a very good question. I do believe that there are certain things that are going to happen that we cannot stop, that I don't know if it's a universal karmic thing or it's, well, in this case, I know it came from that lab. I saw that all along.
I said that back in December of 2019.
Yes, I remember you said it, and you were right. I was like, I agree with George, absolutely. This was an accident, but also they shouldn't have been doing this kind of research.
No,
in the first
too
place.
dangerous.
It's very dangerous. So I think, it's very sad.
I'm not sure that this Delta variant that's out there that they said they found first in India, which is close to China, was an accident as well. And, a whole bunch of stuff is getting out.
It makes you wonder. I think that there's more than accidental things going on, which is scary.
Absolutely. Jennifer, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back and talk more about your psychic abilities, your animal communication ability, and mediumship. And then next hour, we'll take phone calls, questions, and readings, brief readings. We'll tell you about that later.
The Coast website is now streamlined for mobile devices. Great news if you're a Coast insider or simply want to enjoy our website on your phone. Visit coasttocoastam.com on your iPhone or Android browser.
From the KFI 24-hour newsroom. LA City Attorney Mike Feuer is asking county leaders to do what New York City is starting to do. Require people to show proof of COVID vaccination before they can enter places like restaurants, gyms, and theaters. County supervisors and Mayor Garcetti's office both say the idea is not off the table. Meantime, in Orange County, the daily coronavirus case rate jumped from 8 per 100,000 people to 12.7, and the test positivity rate jumped from 4.9% to 6.9. Two more beaches have water sample tests that exceed the state standard for bacteria. Stay out of the water at the Bel Air Bay Club at Will Rogers State Beach in Pacific Palisades and Mother's Beach in Marina del Rey. Southland weather from KFI. Hot again today, 100 to 106 in the valleys and the IE, upper 80s to low 90s in the LAOC metros, low 70s at the beaches. Things begin to cool down tomorrow. Right now it's 72 in Fullerton, Lake Forest 64, Redondo Beach 66, and in Valley Village 72 degrees. We lead local from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. I'm Phil Hewlett.
In Westminster, we have a full freeway closure, 405 southbound from Westminster Avenue to Golden West. All lanes are going to be shut down for road work. Your drive is being diverted off onto Westminster Avenue. Downey, 105 westbound at Lakewood Boulevard, we have a car on fire. That's in the carpool lane. CHP's on the way. Watch for delays as you approach this area. Eagle Rock, there is a work zone, 2 northbound from the 134 to the 210. The right lane's going to be shut down for road work. KFI in the Sky helps get you there faster. I'm Brian Vance.
Before I started Rooter Hero Plumbing, I was an angry young man. Hello, I'm John Aquan. I was angry because my dad died when I was 17 and he left me alone. I was angry because I couldn't go to college with my friends and because I had to drop out of high school. It's not a pleasant story. But as I grew older, I also grew up. I realized that my dad didn't leave me alone. He left me with values and principles that continue to shape my life. Dad said, be on time. He didn't like it when people were late. He taught me to be polite. It was something I lost but recaptured along the way. And he taught me to keep my promises, because broken promises lead to broken relationships. We teach and keep these values at Rooter Hero Plumbing. I think we have a pretty good company. I know we have great people. And if one of our heroes fails to live up to these values, please call me. My private number is on the back of every Rooter Hero business card. You can also reach us at rooterhero.com. Thank you.
Everybody needs a hero.
26.
Hey, some big news. Eric Bowling is back on TV with a new show. Tune in to Newsmax every weekday at 1 p.m. Pacific and watch Eric Bowling on The Balance. Eric is The Balance to big media, woke politics, and cancel culture. All this week, Eric's exposing the dangers of Joe Biden's inflation. It's already rising and it could devalue your stocks, bonds, cash, and even your retirement. So get the truth about Biden and find your balance. Watch Eric Bowling on Newsmax at noon. More than 30 million Americans watch Newsmax. It's on all major cable systems. If your operator doesn't carry it, you got to call them. Tell them you want it. Plus, Newsmax is free on streaming systems like Roku, Samsung, LG, Pluto, Xumo, and more. Or download the free Newsmax app on your phone, and then you can watch it anytime, anywhere. More than 30 million Americans are tuning into Newsmax because it's real news for real people.
KFI, AM 640, more stimulating talk.
Matter of fact, my first guy's a Beamer. The first time I got my car, for some reason there was a glitch in it. All it would do is talk to me in German, and I'd scream, "You know I'm a Jew! You're doing this on purpose!"
Bill Handel, mornings from 6 to 10 on KFI. KFI, live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
Coast to Coast AM with George Norrie.
Our special guest, psychic Jennifer Wallens. We're going to take calls with Jennifer next hour here on Coast to Coast. She'll do some brief readings for you, too. All you have to do is just ask her a question, and she'll run with it. ParanormalDate.com is running rapidly towards 115,000 signed-up members. We're 903 people shy of that. Free to sign up at ParanormalDate.com. And if you're over 60, what do we have for you, Tom?
Well, guess what? Some people are looking for that special someone that's a bit more mature. And so we've created ParanormalDate.com/seniors for people that think like you do that are 60 plus. So check it out. It's ParanormalDate.com/seniors.
At ParanormalDate.com, you meet the most fantastic people.
Hi, I'm Tom.
Hi, I'm Jennifer. What brings you here?
Yeah, I'm here to meet someone who understands me.
How so?
Well, I'm into UFOs, ghosts, aliens, Bigfoot, conspiracy theories, the paranormal, that kind of stuff. But can't seem to find anyone who gets it.
Oh, well, nice to meet you, Tom. I gotta go.
Okay. Guess that's not your cup of tea. You sure?
Very. Good luck with that.
I can't meet anyone when I'm out, and I really can't find a website for my unique interests. What is one to do?
Have you thought about ParanormalDate.com?
What? Who are you?
I'm a paranormal matchmaker, and it's ParanormalDate.com. It's a website for people looking for people like them. Stuff you like, remember?
Interesting. I'll give it a try.
Well, let's try this again.
Hi, I'm Tom.
Hey, I'm Deb. Your profile on ParanormalDate.com looked very interesting. So you really saw a UFO?
Well, yeah. It was so intense, but not as intense as meeting you.
You're an alien chasing flirt, but I kind of like it.
Wow, this ParanormalDate.com thing really works.
Maybe ParanormalDate.com is for you. People with an interest in things they hear on George's show find their match daily. So if you're looking for that special someone with an interest in UFOs, ghosts, aliens, Bigfoot, conspiracy theories, and of course, the paranormal, come to the dating site inspired by George Norrie. It's always for to search, and if you decide to upgrade to our amazing new features, use promo code GEORGE for a great discount. ParanormalDate.com. You are not alone.
You're spot on to worry about age-related mental decline. That's why I take Matter by Elysium Health. Matter is not science. It's not some passing fad. This was developed in partnership with the University of Oxford to slow the brain loss that occurs as we get older, as we age. Matter contains a patented formula that is clinically proven to slow age-related loss in the brain's memory centers by an average of, get this, 86%, and that is a miracle of modern science. Is brain health important to you? Here are a couple questions to see if you need Matter. 1, have you noticed changes, even mild changes in your memory? 2, does any sort of memory decline run in your family? And if you said yes, then take Matter by Elysium to help support your brain health today, tomorrow, and later in life. Go to trymatter.com/George and use promo code George at checkout and save some money there, $45. That's promo code George at trymatter.com/George. Again, that's trymatter.com/George.
You've been lied to by corrupt Washington politicians and the Wall Street propaganda machine. Hi, I'm Inc. magazine best-selling author Brett Kitchen, and I want to give you a free copy of my brand new book, Wealth Beyond Wall Street, because we all know another market crash could be right around the corner. After losing 35% in my IRA in the crash years ago, I said enough, and since then I discovered a way to grow money potentially double digits, reduce taxes dramatically, and also have my money protected when the next stock market crash hits. When the next market crash hits, you lose nothing. Call Wealth Beyond Wall Street now to get your free copy and talk with a specialist to discover this little-known strategy to get potential double-digit growth during good years and never lose when the next stock market crash hits, all while building a tax-advantaged retirement. Call 800-908-1616 to discover this asset that people like Walt Disney and J.C. Penney use to grow wealthy. Plus, get one of just 97 free books left. We even cover shipping and handling, no credit card required. Call 800-908-1616. That's 800-908-1616, 1-800-908-1616.
Coast to Coast. George Norrie with you. Jennifer Wallens with us. Jennifer, you were in the Ukraine representing the United States in the Battle of Psychics. Tell me about that.
Oh, that was so fun. But the first thing I'll tell you about that is I spent 6 months there, and I probably would have lost my mind had it not been for you and Coast to Coast.
Oh,
every day I listened to the show, so I could listen to it like after we did our competitions and things, because it was the English. It was the only English I heard, pretty much. It was wonderful, and you kept me feeling like I didn't miss home as much having you there with me.
And we let you know what was happening here, right?
Yes, absolutely. It really was great. So I've been wanting to tell you that for a long time.
Now tell me about the Battle of the Psychics.
Okay. Well, at first I got an email, and I just thought it was a joke about a TV show in Ukraine called the Battle of the Psychics. And I, at first, just, I wrote back, and they wrote me back, and then the producer. Anyway, I ended up going out there, and they had about 300 contestants.
Wow.
They brought people in from all over the world, actually, and then they narrowed it down to, I think, 12. There was 12 of us that finally were chosen for the show. We had to do all kinds of crazy things you wouldn't believe. Just like they would pour. I remember one of the first things they did was you walked into the room and there were 3 plants, and you had to tell them which one was going to be fed water with salt in it so it would die. It was really weird. So I went outside and I'm pacing around, and I knew it was number 2. It was number 2. I kept seeing number 2. So I get in there, I'm all ready to say number 2. And I say number 2. And then they go, no, sorry, you're wrong. I go outside, I'm like, I know, I saw it. And one of the assistants said, yeah, they just changed it before you came in. The first 3 people that came in, it was number 2, and they just switched it. So I learned a lesson. Don't tune in until you're right there doing whatever challenge it was, because I tuned in too early and made a mistake. So
you overthought the thing.
I did.
But it was a fun show?
It was great. It was a lot of fun. There was a lot of serious challenges. You know, there were missing children. There were murdered children.
Oh my God.
There was so many very emotional type of challenges, but it made me a better medium and a better psychic.
You've got a clip of that on your website too, don't you?
Yes, I do. And then there's a few, if people Google my name, there's some pretty funny ones. And especially if you can understand Ukrainian and Russian, you'll be all set. I still don't know how some of these things and what they said about what I said, because I haven't been able to translate all of it.
If you had to chop up your percentages of being a psychic, an animal communicator, or a medium, what would those percents be?
Oh, that's a good question. Probably about half medium, and then a quarter psychic and a quarter animal communicator.
Okay, interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Now, tell us about this animal communication. How does that work?
Okay. Well, I mentioned just a little bit about it's mostly like a telepathic vision is how animals communicate. They just show you a picture. I have a funny example. One night, I used to love to eat vanilla wafers. Okay, I still do. Okay, I'm not going to lie. I still love them. Anyway, my dog got used to having one for a treat. And I hadn't bought any in a long time, and my little poodle Tinkerbell's sitting there in my face, and I'm looking at her. She's looking straight at me, staring at me, and I'm like, what do you want? What is it? You've already eaten. What do you want? And she showed me the vanilla wafers. So I was like, you're kidding. And, you know, sure enough, I ran and got them, and that made her very happy. But, like, I was shocked. I didn't expect her to actually show me a picture of the exact treat. So, you know, animals are very smart. If we just tune in, pay attention, they will tell us what they want or what they need.
They sure will.
Mm-hmm.
They really do. Now, when you get these visions of animals, do they also physically have to be next to you?
Oh, no, absolutely not. I mean, it's great if they are, because that's just an extra bonus for me to get all that love and attention. But no, I do them over the phone with just a picture, and I don't even need a picture actually, but it does help a little. Or they can be, you know, another country. It doesn't matter. Phone or Skype, it works just as well.
And now, in terms of being a medium,
mm-hmm.
Who do you communicate with, or who do you contact? All dead?
Well, it's whoever the client puts the invitation out to. You know, when a client books an appointment, they normally have some people that they really want to speak to, like a parent or a child. So normally that's who will come in, because that intention has already gone out to the universe, to the spirit world, so they know who needs to show up. So I don't have to do anything but just be an open channel and, you know, see who pops in for them. So I don't do any calling. I'm the telephone. They dial, I just pick it up and, you know, give the information that I'm getting from the spirit world.
Have you ever picked up anything that, you know, could be demonic, and you just somehow pick it up?
Ooh. The only time I picked that up, it wasn't with a particular person. It was in a place when we were doing a paranormal investigation. So it had been an old saloon in Tombstone, actually. And that's where I felt some really bad energy, and I had to leave the room because it was so dark. One of the guys with us, he got scratched pretty badly on his back. So that's the only time I've run into something demonic like that. I heard your show the other night too. That was quite interesting. The
On the demons?
spiritual or religious demonologist. He was quite interesting.
Oh, the Monsignor.
Well, no.
Not that one?
No, the one...
After that.
Yeah, the one after that.
Okay.
Yep. Maybe it was Monday.
They're out there. There's something there.
Yes, there is, absolutely.
Now, tell me about your mission to get these frauds.
Okay. Well, as I said earlier, it's just a matter of educating people and educating mediums and psychics to the degree that, they have that training, that they know the ethical way to be a medium. That's a big problem, too, is there's too many people out there just trying to make money. And if that's your intent, you shouldn't be a medium. First of all, you're never going to get rich unless you're, well, there are some out there that do, but very few. And, you have to have a spiritual basis for the reason that you want to do it. You want to help people. You want to help heal people that are going through grief. It's a very sacred job. That's the way I say it. So to me, it's just what is important is to make people aware who the ones are they should avoid. And it's not to just denounce people. People do things for all kinds of reasons, and I'm not in their shoes, but I'm here to help people make a good decision and to not put up with subpar mediumship and psychic ability. People get used to just seeing so-so when it really should be taken up a notch and really be something evidential so that people don't have that, doubt. They know for sure that their mother or their father was speaking and gave them information nobody could Google. Nobody would know the family.
Well, so many people, Jennifer, are so into this and they want to communicate with their loved ones that they will believe anything.
It's so true. And that's when unscrupulous, fraudulent people will prey on those people, and say things like, there's a curse on your family. Or, of course, if you hear the word curse, you need to run away from that person. Or all of a sudden, they're like, you need to come back. If you're a really good medium and you do a fantastic reading for somebody, that person shouldn't have to even feel the need to come back for another reading.
Part 2 with a payment, of course, right?
Right.
That's a good point. That is a good point.
So I think there's so many things that people can look for. Does this person have lots of good reviews from a credible source, not just reviews that they made up and put on their website, right? Somebody has verified them. Like in my case, Bob Olson, who runs Best Psychic Directory, every single review passes his desk, and they check them. They call the people. It's verified. So I love that, and that's the only reason I'm associated with that one online organization, because of how he runs it. He has credible psychics and mediums on there. So that's something to look for too. And then whether that person is a teacher, that's always a good sign. If somebody's a teacher and they teach others how to start being more intuitive or psychic or to be a medium, it's less likely to be somebody who's fraudulent. So that's another good one.
That is a good point. Harry Houdini was obsessed with finding good mediums, wasn't he?
Oh, yes. He certainly was. And, that reminds me, there's another, someone who is a contemporary of his. Have you ever heard of Daniel Douglas Hume?
I have not.
Okay, well, he was a very famous physical medium, one of the very first, and I love everything about historical mediums, and that's part of what's going to be in my next book. But the fun thing about him was, he would levitate at parties and do all kinds of crazy things that people today, some people, the naysayers are always going to find something. But to this day, people cannot debunk some of the things that they studied scientifically that he did, like the levitation, and the direct voice, where you hear the spirit's voices outside of him speaking in the room, like there's a speaker in there and somebody's talking. All kinds of great stuff.
When you do your readings, you do it by Zoom or just on the phone?
I do Zoom, phone, or Skype, or in person. You know, COVID's kind of put a little, problem into that one, but soon.
And you moved. Where are you now?
I'm in Georgia right now. I was in Las Vegas.
All right. Mm-hmm. That's a big move difference.
It's true. Following those grandchildren around.
Nothing wrong with that.
That's right.
Nothing wrong. Tell us about that ebook again.
Okay. If you sign up for my e-newsletter, which is right on my website, jenniferwallens.com, we'll send you my book on how to avoid fraudulent psychics or mediums and receive the best readings.
And the e-newsletter is also free?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Perfect. All right.
And then I've got a special for all the coast-to-coast listeners. If they want to book a reading, it'll be $100 off. Just look for the coast-to-coast special when they book.
Super.
Yeah.
And that's important.
Yeah, I love to help people out.
Well, it is. How long do the sessions last?
Well, I have 25-minute psychic readings or 50-minute, and then I also do the mediumship are 50 minutes so that I can give the spirit world enough time to bring everybody in, and it just seems to be the perfect amount of time.
What has been the weirdest animal you've done your readings for?
Okay, it was a boa constrictor.
A boa constrictor? How did that happen?
Oh, my goodness. It was a client of mine in Las Vegas. I hope she's listening. And she had this beautiful boa constrictor, and she asked me to do a reading for it, so I did. It was great. It really, I was
this like in a dance act or something?
No, she just had it for, I don't know.
The pet boa constrictor.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I know. It was a strange one. Other ones I've done are like for birds, little songbirds and parakeets, and those are always very interesting. So you just never know what they're going to tell you.
A friend of mine, his wife is from Thailand, and she was telling us a story one day about how a neighbor who had a python as a pet broke loose and swallowed their baby.
Oh!
Swallowed the baby whole.
Oh, my God.
I mean, by the time they got to the snake, the little feet were hanging out. That was it. Because you know how they go head first.
Oh, God, that's so horrible.
I mean, my gosh, who would want to put a python in a house?
I know, with children or anybody. They
just popped the cover off and out they went.
Oh, that's a nightmare for sure.
Horrible.
Goodness gracious.
When we take calls, what do you want them to do? What do you want them to ask you? Anything?
Anything they want. Just give me their first name, and that's all I need, and their question. Whatever.
All right, keep your readings to about a minute and a half.
I will.
Because you're going to get flooded with calls. And of course, you'll take questions about being a medium.
Sure.
To be sure about that. We've tossed some psychics off the air because I thought that they were a little unscrupulous after a while.
Oh, gosh.
I won't mention any names. But
okay, good. Well, I'm glad you did that then.
Yep. We have to do our own little channeling, don't we?
Absolutely. You sure did.
Did you see the movie Ghost with Whoopi Goldberg?
Oh, I loved it. That was great.
Have you ever had walk-ins when you give a reading?
You know,
where they jump into your body?
No. Luckily, well, maybe, but that's only because I was actually trying to do some trance mediumship.
It's dangerous.
Well, not if you know what you're doing and you're protected and you're protecting yourself and you know it's your spirit guide. It's somebody that you know. I would never let any random spirit, get that close.
When we come back, Jennifer, I'm going to ask you about Ouija boards, and then we'll take calls next hour on Coast to Coast AM.
Find out more about tonight's guest. Log on to coasttocoastam.com.
What are you doing going on television?
Or the radio, for that matter.
Or the radio, for that matter.
Gary and Shannon, weekdays at 10 a.m. on KFI.
At Sit and Sleep, we know that people are experts at all kinds of things, except one, how to shop for the right mattress.
Right, Dad. Shopping for a mattress isn't something you do every day, or even every 8 years.
That's why Sit and Sleep has mattress experts with an average of 10 years experience, and bed match technology that scientifically recommends just the right mattress for you.
So for expert advice, trust your sleep to Sit and Sleep.
You know, Drew, I'm an expert at other things.
Like what?
Screaming free!
Why won't a plumber just tell me what it costs to unclog my drain over the phone? Is it that complicated?
No, it's not. It makes no sense at all. They obviously have a price.
Whoa, you've got a nice aroma. Who are you?
Mike Diamond, the Smell Good plumber.
Will you tell me how much to unstop my drain?
$99.
But you haven't seen it.
Don't need to. Doesn't matter if it's a kitchen sink or a mainline sewer stoppage. The Smell Good plumbers at Mike Diamond will unclog almost any drain for $99.
Almost?
Yeah, there are a few exceptions, but you can read all about them on our website before you call. Just go to thesmellgoodplumber.com.
Wow, you're like up front and everything. I just called a guy named Bubba who wouldn't tell me anything.
No Bubba's here, ma'am. Just professional plumbers who show up on time, smell good, and unclog drains for $99.
Call us 1-800-446-MIKE.
Contractor license number 399170.